righty, welcome to the Cover 2 podcast. I am here with Ethan and I am your host, Wyatt. First, I would like to start off this episode. We are primarily on the NFL, and as we're all well aware, some very tragic thing happened on Monday Night Football. It sounds like Damar Hamlin is improving, but it was a moment that we all saw was more than sports, and we just continue to pray for him and his family. And hopefully he helps to, or he can get back onto a normal life, or if not, the football field after this. But yeah, scary things and just a moment more bigger than sports. So very unfortunate, but we really hope that he is improving and that he will get back to normal.
Yeah, just praying for his health, praying for his family, his teammates, everyone, directly touched by that incident. Crazy. I mean, never expected to see that in that game, obviously. Haven't seen, I think this happened to a Lions player back in like 1971, but haven't seen anything in 50 years, even close to this. So just horrible. Weird that it was in a primetime game of that magnitude as well. Just interesting situation. Sucks all the way around for football, for the teams, and then obviously for Damar and yeah, just praying for him. I think the NFL made the right call by canceling the game, definitely. But it still does just sucks all the way around.
Right.
And yeah, good to hear that Damar seems to be improving a little bit, opening his eyes and responsive a little bit. So
yeah, I think the report came out today saying he is conscious. He did I believe asked whether who won the game. So he is, it sounds like mentally, cognitively there, which is great news, especially if your brain's been without oxygen for that period of time. So that's all we got so far. Again, we'll continue to pray for him. Also pray for the NFL. A lot of criticism there. They're in a lose-lose situation. Whatever decision they decide, someone's going to be upset. So hopefully they just get the guidance that they need to make the decision that they think is best for the league and the players. Again, not everyone's going to be happy, and it's a very, very difficult situation. But yeah, our thoughts to them moving forward and on the decision making, and then again, our thoughts to Damar Hamlin and his family.
We'll start off Saturday preview. First game, I believe it's at 4:25 Eastern Standard Time. We have Kansas City at Las Vegas. Current line is the Raiders plus 9.5, over under sitting at 52.5, which I believe is the highest on the board. And yeah, I'll jump into it here. I'll kind of let Wyatt hopefully get some of that spice settled. Going into the milk, hopefully that helps. So for this game, I'm looking at Kansas City laying the 9.5. I don't often lay big numbers in the NFL like this, but I can't help myself this week. It's a sensitive topic about Damar Hamlin, but at this point, it kind of is what it is. And point blank, Kansas City benefited from that game not being finished. They move ahead of Buffalo for the number 1 seed. That's currently where they sit. If that game isn't finished, Kansas City holds their destiny in their hands to win the 1 seed. So I like Kansas City. I think they come out and play hard. We saw the Raiders go toe-to-toe with the Niners last week, which I was kind of a fan of, with Stidham making his first start last week. This week, however, second start, Kansas City is going to have some film on him, kind of going to know how to stop him. So it's a play against Stidham for me. Play on Kansas City. I think they have a lot to play for still. So I'm going to lay the 9.5. I could see this being a pretty big blowout, 31-10, somewhere in there, which also puts me on the under 52.5. I think we're getting some added value. Kansas City, obviously, juggernaut offense. And the Raiders just put up, I believe, 34 against the best defense in the NFL. I cannot see a world where Vegas puts up even probably half that this week. So yeah, give me the under 52.5. Kansas City minus 9.5 would be my leans for this game. How you doing?
I'm all right. It's gone down to the throat now.
Okay.
It's past the tongue. It's in the throat. Water helps, like just putting it in the mouth. Doesn't really help the afterwards. I feel like the milk's helping a little bit, but still pretty on fire here.
Yeah.
In regards to the Kansas City Raiders game, we don't really know how the AFC number one seed is going to turn out. We'll talk about that in a little bit. But I'll talk about later. I have a lot of money line parlays that I really like this weekend. And one of them is Kansas City money line. 9.5 points is a lot. I understand the Raiders are, starting sit on whatever. Kansas City, they are, depending how this number one seed shapes out, Kansas City is looking like they're going to be the number one. So even if they don't win this game, I think they'll be okay. But I think they just want to make it for sure to get that number one, possibly the first round bye. So I do like Kansas City money line. I can't see them losing that game. Oh, I do like the over under. I like the under with you at 52.5. Kansas City, I think the score you said is very accurate, like a 31-10 type of game. I can't see Vegas putting up much more than 17. And then maybe like a 34-17 that gets you at 51. So I have a really hard time seeing that game go over 52.5. So I like that play, as well as, I don't know, I'm not going to do Kansas City minus 9.5, but I am going to do Kansas City Kansas City money line in that game. But yeah, the NFL is funny with their scheduling, because obviously this game means nothing, but it's Patty Mahomes on Saturday by himself, so everyone's going to tune in. So
Right.
It's just funny that the NFL does that. I am going to go unlived on TikTok. Thank you everyone for tuning in. I did do the whole chip. You can listen to our podcast. I'll be on YouTube after this, but Godspeed and good luck. All right, that was a new thing in the show. Usually I don't go on live on TikTok, but you got to get all the content that you can.
Yeah, I like it.
So moving on, we have that Tennessee-Jacksonville game. Biggest game in regards to playoff implications, I think, of the weekend. There might be one or two other ones, but I think this is the biggest one because the winner ultimately gets into the playoffs. That NFC, we'll talk about it in a little bit, but NFC kind of has a similar situation in regards to three teams. But this one in the AFC is just a one win and get in between Tennessee and Jacksonville. I'll start with this one. Tennessee, they've kind of been my team until we started this podcast, and then they've lost I think 7 in a row, something like that. They're starting Dobbs, who I didn't know anything about until last week. Cool story, aeroscience degree or some crazy thing like that, like ridiculously smart. Unfortunately, not the best football player. Jacksonville has really turned it up. This is another one of those money lines that I really like. I don't trust some Jacksonville minus 6.5 because, I guess it's not terrible because you could still win by a touchdown, but I think the Jacksonville money line is just a safer bet. I have a really hard time seeing Jacksonville losing this game for how well they played in the last couple of weeks. There is a couple other things to note with contract incentives for Week 18, and 2 of those are in Jacksonville. We have Christian Kirk needs 2 receptions and 97 yards, and Zay Jones needs, I believe, 2 receptions as well and 93 yards. So 2 wide receivers that really they don't need to, but they get an extra. I think Kirk gets an extra $1 million, and Zay Jones, I believe, gets an extra $750,000 for those stats, which are very, very doable. So I really like Jacksonville. I am going to tease, or not tease. I'm going to do some player props in regards to Trevor Lawrence passing yards. I do know he has that injured toe, but he is expected to start. And then I am going to do passing yards over for both Zay Jones and Christian Kirk. When there's that much money on the line, the quarterback knows it, the offensive coordinator knows it, the coach knows it. Like, they want to get those guys the ball because they want to get them that extra money. So those are 2 really good plays in that game. And then I am just going to have to go with Jacksonville money line in part of a parlay that I'll talk to you later. What do you like? And I just went on a huge rant. I'm finally feeling okay. So
Good.
What do you like in that one?
Yeah, you're sounding better. You're looking better.
Yeah.
So you're getting there. I think the hard part's hopefully over for you. Hopefully you don't have the stomach pain that I was getting towards the end of the video. But yeah, this game, great points about Jones and Christian Kirk. I look pretty deep into the incentives as well for this week. This game does worry me though, just because there's more on the line for the coaches, the players. I think they'd rather, if they make the playoffs and Jones doesn't have a catch, like that's what they're worried about. That's not to say I don't think they'll get it. I mean, 2 catches is pretty easy, and they're two of, I think they're the top 2 receivers in Jacksonville. So, I mean, yeah, they probably get it done, but it's not like if it's the fourth quarter tie ball game, they're going to be looking to get it into Zay Jones' hands, of anybody. So I do think they probably get there, but not my favorite incentive props of the week, just because the game does mean more. And this is so gross. I feel like I just need to punch myself in the face probably 7 times for the Tennessee 7 straight losses. But I like Tennessee plus a 6.5. I think it's just way too many points for a divisional game of this magnitude. First of all, Tennessee is rested. They rested their starters on Thursday Night Football, and then obviously played on Thursday Night Football. So they've had multiple days to get ready for this game. It is in prime time. It's in Jacksonville, which is, kind of a tough place to play. It's becoming a tougher place to play. But Tennessee does have their revenge. They just lost a month ago on December 11th, 22-36 in Tennessee, part of this losing streak. Yeah, I just think it's too many points for Tennessee. I think they're fully focused on this game. Tennessee's been here before, with recent playoff success. I mean, they've made the playoffs, I don't know how many years in a row. Jacksonville is not too far removed from their AFC championship run, but that was with Blake Bortles. This is uncharted territory for Trevor Lawrence. So I just think I'm going to take the experienced team, the team that no one's going to want to bet on probably after their last few weeks. Cannot believe I'm getting on them again. I kind of like their money line as well, to be honest with you. I just think Derrick Henry could have a day. Josh Dobbs should be able to do enough. Yeah, I don't know if I'll get there. I'll probably get there on the 6.5. Don't know if I'll get there on the money line, but I would rather take the experienced team than the team that hasn't really been here before.
Okay, we'll keep that one on the back burner for possibly a challenge for next week.